Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Jasmine, and if you are new here, welcome. This is Life of a Praying Mama. Jeez Louise, life of National Guards people. In today's video, I wanted to talk about deployment and what it's like to be a spouse of a National Guardsman or woman. It's kind of different for me just because I myself am also in the National Guard. At the moment, my husband is the one who's deployed, so my experience will be a little bit different than what a civilian wife or husband's experience will be. With that being said, I just want to share with you guys my experience, what I'm going through, what my family's going through, how we're handling it, the benefits of being in the National Guard, being deployed, as well as the disadvantages of having a spouse who's in the National Guard and who is deployed. So here we go. So for those of you that don't know, but I am assuming that you guys do know because you guys clicked on this video, but for those of you that don't know, National Guards people do get deployed. We are kind of like the reserves. So the difference between the National Guard and the reserves is that the reserves is federal and National Guard is by state. National Guard reports to the governor as well as the president. The reserves reports to the federal government as well as the president. And so with the National Guard, if there's a natural disaster here in the state, we are the first ones to get called up. If there's even an attack on our homeland here in the United States, then we are the first ones to get called up as well. So that's the only difference between National Guard and reserves, but essentially it's the same structure with being just 1 week in a month and 2 weeks out of the year for training. All right, so now I'm going to talk about the deployment, how it happened, how do we prepare, and how it is right now. Last December of 2016, my husband, he volunteered to get on a deployment. It's December 2017 now, so it's been a whole year. So within that whole year, I know, I don't feel, but I know that God prepared my husband and I to be separated and for this season in our lives right now. And the reason I say that is because in order for him to get promoted, he had to go to a military school, and at the time, I was working full-time, a part-time student, and we had a 1-year-old. And so my husband was gone for about a month. That was very, very, very difficult for me. Like, extremely difficult. I was actually depressed. And it got so bad to the point where I had to quit my job. And, oh gosh. Sorry, it's the National Guard calling me.
This is a message from the California National Guard.
Due to the fires in Ventura, California, CAOR conducts 100% accountability check of all personnel. Soldiers are required to contact their immediate supervisor. Choose one of the below options for impact accountability.
Please make your selection from the following choices.
For yes, I am affected, press 1. For no, not affected, press 2.
Thank you. Your choice has been recorded. Goodbye.
All right, guys. So, I mean, that's the life of a National Guards person, right? I'm trying to make a video for you guys, and then the National Guard's like, boom, boom, boom. And that's part of balancing the life, which I'm gonna make another video for you guys on how to balance National Guard life with your civilian life, okay? Anyway, it was extremely difficult for me, and I had to quit my job. I was very depressed to the point where when I woke up in the morning, I didn't brush my teeth, I didn't take a shower, I didn't comb my hair, and I went to work that way, and I didn't care. And I just felt like I was just in this dark cloud of just sadness and depression because of that, the enemy attacked me in many different ways, spiritually attacked me a lot. And I remember there was a point where I was in my kitchen and I was on hands and knees and I just screamed to God, like, God, I can't do this. Please don't let him get deployed. But also in that moment, God showed me that he's there with me, that everything's going to be fine, and that he was going to take care of my husband, me, and my daughter. And I truly believe that God was preparing us for this season now. And so after that whole month, my husband came back for a week, and then he had to leave again for the 2-week training. So he was gone for a good while. Then when he came back from the 2-week training, I had to go to my 2-week training. So I was gone. And so in that moment, in that season, God was preparing us to be separated from one another, learn how to live apart from one another, but at the same time, still support and love each other and communicate with each other. And it truly did prepare us for the now. And so now, December 2017, my husband's gone. He's been gone for about, it'll be 2 months. In like 2 days, he's gone. He's been gone. And honestly, in the now, I do feel more prepared. I feel as though I've grown as a person in taking care of the bills, working, taking care of my daughter. It's easier for me to balance everything out just because I already went through a season where I didn't have my husband to help me. So yeah, that's that. The benefits of having a spouse who's in the National Guard who is deployed are the same as an active duty soldier, in the sense that because your spouse is deployed or is going to get deployed, you do get that active duty benefits because they are on active duty orders. So you get TRICARE, which is health, dental. You get separation pay. You get hazard pay if they're in like the combat pay if they're like in a combatant deployment area. And then you also have resources, valuable resources with childcare, with trying to, pay your bills if you're struggling, things like that. But the disadvantages of having a National Guard life is that although you get those active duty benefits and those active duty resources, you're not living on a base, which is a lot harder to get those resources. With the National Guard lifestyle, you're living at home in your hometown, you're not living on a base. So it is a little bit harder to find resources and know what your resources and your benefits even are. But what the National Guard does is they try to accommodate that by having these support groups. When your spouse gets deployed, you go to like a yellow ribbon event, and in that event they give you all these valuable resources, all these phone numbers to call, put your email down on certain lists so that way they can email you, and just to be informed, because it's a different world. It's a different world to live in, especially if you're used to being a civilian and living the civilian life, and then all of a sudden the army or the military just comes in, and now all of a sudden you have no idea what to expect or even what it's like. But definitely go to that yellow ribbon event if your spouse is about to get deployed. You do not want to miss that. That event is for you, the spouse. The event is not for the personnel getting deployed. I mean, it kind of is, but it's mainly for you as the wife or the husband, because you get all these valuable resources that you definitely need. Like, you need to go. Okay? If you learn anything from my video, go to the yellow ribbon event, because it's an event full of information and resources and just opening you up to this whole military lifestyle. Okay? So that's that. What is it like now that my husband is gone? Honestly, it is kind of hard because he's not here with me, like, I do miss kissing him and hugging him and just being around him all the time. But at the same time, I think because of the fact that I'm also a soldier, I understand everything that my husband's going through, and I know exactly what he's talking about when we do talk on the phone, when he talks about, like, you know, the chain of command and all these things. It's easier for us. I guess that's why I'm saying that my experience is a lot different than your guys's. If you are not in the National Guard or not part of the military, but your spouse is, it is different from my experience. But I just wanted to share with you guys what I'm going through as well. Currently, I'm going to City College, and I'm getting my AA in Child Development. So if you guys were wondering. I'm not sure what else. It's just a little bit of an informational video / what I'm going through and what my experience is. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any more questions, or if you feel confused or something about what I just talked about, or if you want me to elaborate more, then please leave a comment down below and I will either reply to you, or if there's a lot of questions, then I'll make another video. But in the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. If your spouse is getting deployed or is already deployed, definitely, contact me and we can go through this together. We can build a community together. And if you have any questions of how I'm handling certain things, then just let me know. And I just want to let you know that your husband or your wife, they are going to be okay. And you are not alone. We're all going through this together. All right? Alrighty, so I'll see you guys soon. Have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning in. Bye, guys.